Hello, home bosses. What if I told you that some of the top-selling books on Amazon right now aren't novels or even picture books? They're simple educational workbooks created by self-publishers. And the best part, these aren't random one-off books. They're part of a bigger strategy, a brand, and that's exactly why they're making thousands of sales every single month. I've been talking about this for a while and I have made tutorial videos and they're great, but if you really want to understand what works, you have to look at what's already selling. And one of the most overlooked but profitable niches is educational workbooks. Why? Because they solve a clear problem. Parents want to help their kids learn. Teachers need affordable resources. Homeschooling is on the rise, and self-publishers like us are stepping in to meet that need. Here's what successful workbook authors are doing right and what you can learn from them. First of all, they build a brand. They don't just publish a random tracing book and move on. They build a brand that parents trust. Number two, they create a series. One workbook turns into 3, then 5, then 10. You'll often see a preschool learning series or a grade 1 to 3 bundle. These books feed into each other and increase sales across the whole series. Number 3, they cover multiple subjects. Instead of just doing one math book, they branch into handwriting, spelling, phonics, even science. This expands their customer base and gives buyers a reason to return. Number 4 is they have professional covers. This is a big one. You can spot a top seller instantly. Bright colors, bold titles, clean fonts, and kid-friendly images. The covers don't look homemade, and you can create this look even using tools like Canva or by hiring affordable designers. And number 5 is they optimize for search. Great titles, strong keywords, and clear benefits. So you can see how the titles include really strong keywords, and they also have the benefits that people get through buying this book. Let me show you exactly what I mean. We'll look at a few books that are absolutely crushing it in this niche, and I'll break down what they're doing right, from the branding to the content inside. So I've gone on to Amazon.com and under the book section, I typed in educational workbooks. And this will give you an idea of the kind of books that are doing really well on Amazon right now. And like I always say, the educational niche is just so full of different sub-niches. You can never run out of ideas. There's so many books we can create that are educational, but that also fall into different sub-niches. So let's just get a quick overview of what comes up when you type in educational workbooks into Amazon. So first of all, we've got Thriving with ADHD. I've got the Amazon Quick View extension on Google Chrome. So when I hover over any of these books, you can see here, you get the details, the product details without having to click on each book. And when I hover over this one, it tells me that this book is 148 pages. And the bestseller rank, the BSR, is 1,467 in books, which is absolutely amazing. They are selling between 92 and 134 books a day. And here's another human body activity books for kids, which is only 68 pages, and it's number 907 in books. This is really another amazing BSR for a book to have. And here's a learn to read activity book. This one here is a maps and geography book. There's a 3rd grade spelling workbook. So you can see how many different niches this covers. It covers maths. It covers spelling, as we've seen before here. There's activity books where you probably have all different types of activities. And there are preschool activity books, kindergarten activity books, kindergarten workbooks. And just look at their BSRs. Number 84, this one. Number 283. Number 510. These are all under 1,000 BSRs, which is absolutely amazing. And this just goes on. I mean, I can scroll down and you can see the BSRs are still really, really low. So education is where it's at on Amazon KDP. And this is why I often talk about educational niches. I often promote the type of software that can help you create these type of books, because you can create whole brands. And you know that branding books is my thing. This is how I managed to sell a lot more books in my particular business, because I created brands around my books. And you can easily create an educational brand. And the reason these are selling so much is because people are having an actual need for these books. If parents are homeschooling, and that's happening more and more, they need educational material to be able to do that. Teachers also need educational material to do that. And a lot of parents just want to help their children and giving them extra lessons and get tutors, or they even do it themselves. And these type of books really help with that. So you can be into maths books, into handwriting books, into language, into all sorts of different educational niches that can really help your buyers. And this also in turn helps you sell more books, because there is such a demand. And because not only do they buy one book, they buy several of these books. Because if they like a book from a particular brand, they'll have a look at that brand and see what else they do, what other books they have. And I can give you some examples here. For example, let's see what we can find here. I love looking at these type of books and just diving a little deeper into how they are creating their books. So I look at things like covers, I look at the type of fonts they're using, all those sort of things. So let's have a look at this one. Here's my Sight Words workbook. If I click on that, I want to see if they do any other books under this particular brand. So the pen name is Lauren Brainerd, MED. So we can click on the pen name and see what else they do. And we can see here she's got a lot more books under her brand, and she's got a phonics storybook, Learn to Read. It's about phonics as well. Sight Words workbook, phonics workbook. And I think you can see that these two, for example, they look very on brand. They have the same sort of design for the title. They have the same fonts, almost very similar graphics. So she's done a really good job in branding these two books. They're definitely on brand. This one is slightly different. So I think this is probably not on brand. But it's an example. Maybe she's trying different types of books. These ones here, again, look on brand. If you take these three, for example, they've got very similar titles, very similar fonts, and very similar color schemes. And again, here as well. So I think this happened with one of my brands. At first, I didn't quite know how to brand my books. So the ones that I created at first look very different to the ones I created later on. And it's when I learned how to brand that my books started to look on brand. They had the same sort of fonts, the same title design, the same type of cover designs as well. And when you investigate some of these pen names, you will find that that happens to them as well. Their first books might not be so much on brand, but the more books they create, they get the hang of it and they start creating books that are on brand. And you can see that here, definitely. These look on brand and these look on brand. And this one looks slightly different, a little bit out of place, but that doesn't do this brand much harm. And if we go and look at some other ones. Let's see what else we can find. Let's try this one. So this one is by Crystal Radke, and if we click on her pen name, you can see that she's got a lot of these type of books, and they're pretty much on brand as well. People know her books. She is concentrating on educational material, and she's concentrating on handwriting more than anything. I can't see any maths books in there. So this brand is basically sticking to handwriting as their main educational sub niche. And this book here is absolutely amazingly popular. I see that quite often when I do my research under the top 100. And it's a very successful brand. And let's see what else we can find. Here's an interesting one, Spanish workbook. So this is good for people who speak 2 languages. You could create a workbook that teaches another language. And let's click on the pen name. And we can see here that Melanie Stewart Campbell has created different books that teach children how to speak Spanish, which is really interesting. And she's even got a children's book as well in her brand. So this is something that you could do if you speak another language or English isn't your first language. You could definitely create some of these language tuition workbooks. So there's definitely no reason why you can't have really successful books on Amazon, especially if you create a brand in an educational niche. And like I said, education is such a big subject. There are so many sub-niches, and I will continue showing you apps that can help you create these type of books, because I think that this is something where you can really create a brand and make some really good sales. Because I do get a lot of emails from people saying, I've created 4 books or I've created 5 books and I haven't made any sales. And sometimes when I look at those books, they are very disconnected from each other. There is no brand behind it, or they are in different niches that are not related to each other. So it does pay to create a brand, because then people find out about you. They know that you specialize in something. They know that you specialize in an educational niche, for example, or maybe your brand could be a coloring book brand. That's another really good niche, or a children's book brand, which is another one that really lends itself well to branding, because you can create books that are in the same niche, and then you can create a whole series of them. And that is what attracts people. This is how you sell more books, because if they like one of your books, then they will look and see what else you've got and buy more of your books. And if this inspired you to create your own educational workbook series, let me know in the comments. I know some of you are already doing this. Some of you that have bought the apps that I sometimes promote, you've told me that you are creating these type of books and you've already made some sales, which I think is amazing. And if you haven't tried it yet, what would you like to start with? If you were to create an educational brand, what is something that you think resonates with you? What is your interest? And is there something that you could teach in your workbooks as well? So if you want more videos like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. And thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.